It's 11 p.m. Tonight's top story. Sustainable aviation fuel production set for global growth, Sarawak and China to enhance trade ties, and major dam blast unleash floodwaters in Ukraine. Those are the headlines for tonight. Good evening. You're now with me, Douglas Elliott, and this is TVS Nightline. We begin with this. The overall renewable fuel production is expected to reach at least 69 billion litres by 2028, with sustainable aviation fuels or SAF comprising a portion of the growing output, with it projecting about 62% of the carbon mitigation needed in 2050. In a statement released by the International Air Transport Association or IATA, the growth is being facilitated through new renewable fuel refineries and the expansion of existing facilities across North America, Europe, as well as Asia Pacific. And as such, Sarawak is currently in the forefront of Malaysia in the use of technology to produce SAF using algae, passing the prerequisite aspect for algae cultivation for the renewable fuel.
In 2022, SAF production tripled to 300 million litres, and project announcements for potential SAF producers are rapidly growing. IATA said over 130 relevant renewable fuel projects have been announced by more than 85 producers across 30 countries. With the measures in place, IATA is confident that the expected 2028 production levels will be realistically aligned with its recently published roadmaps to net zero carbon emissions by 2050. It noted that typically there is a 3 to 5 year lag between a project announcement and its commercialization date, and this implies that further renewable fuel capacity until 2030 could still be announced over the following years. IATA said if renewable energy production reaches 69 billion litres by 2028 as estimated, the trajectory to 100 billion litres by 2030 would be on track. Additionally, if 30% of that is SAF, the industry could achieve 30 billion litres of SAF by 2030. Recently, Sarawak Premier Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg noted that Sarawak has the ability to produce 50,000 tonnes of fuel per annum from just 1 acre of land using the current technology.
China continues to be an important trading partner as well as one of the main economic contributors to Sarawak, posting an estimated 36.73 billion ringgit in total trade for 2022 and 24.6 billion ringgit in export for the same period. To continue this momentum, the Ministry for International Trade, Industry and Investment, Mintrat Sarawak, launches the Mintrat Connects in Guangzhou, China earlier today as a platform to connect Sarawak SMEs entrepreneurs with potential investors from the world over.
Deputy Premier and Mintrat Minister Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan said trade and investment are important for Sarawak to achieve high-income economy status under the Post-COVID-19 Development Strategy PCDS 2030. He noted that China have made Sarawak as the operational base for several industries, such as solar and steel manufacturing, with more still in discussion. Awang Tengah said the ministry is also actively engaging with investors who are keen to explore investment opportunities in Sarawak. The ministry plans to conduct more Mintrat Connects program to other locations around the world. During the work trip to China, Awang Tengah witnessed the signing of a Memorandum of Agreement (MOA) and 5 Memorandums of Understanding (MOUs) between Sarawak companies and their China partners in across different sectors such as education, digital application, tourism, food and beverage, as well as trade facilities.
Major blast occurred at a Soviet-era dam in southern Ukraine, resulting in a gush of floodwaters and causing a blame game between Ukrainian and the Russian forces. Videos circulating online showed intense explosions and the subsequent surge of water bursting through the damaged dam.
We are now resettling people who are on the banks. The town right now is still coming under missile strikes. I think that the residents of about 300 houses will be evacuated and are now being evacuated to higher ground to avoid casualties. Luckily, we have managed to avoid casualties for now.
Russian-installed officials claimed that there was no immediate danger to the nuclear plant, which relies on the dam for cooling water. While Ukraine's military accused Russian forces of blowing up the dam, Russian sources blame Ukraine, referring it to as a terrorist attack. Evacuation efforts were initiated near the dam, and the Russian-installed head of the Kherson region warned of critical water levels within 5 hours. The details and impact of the floodwaters on Ukraine's planned counter-offensive against Russian force remain unclear. Meanwhile, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky called for an emergency meeting to address the situation. The dam, which was built in 1956, is significant as not only supplies water to the Russian-controlled Crimean Peninsula, but also to the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant.
Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim will be the guest of honor at this year's state-level Gawai Dayak celebration to be held at the Borneo Convention Centre, Kuching, BCCK on Wednesday. Sarawak Deputy Premier Dato Amar Douglas Uga Umbas said the highlight of the event would be the Prime Minister's wishes and aspirations for the Dayak community under the Malaysia Madani concept.
We hope he will give us a message to the Dayak community in Sarawak with his Malaysia Madani concept, as well as the way forward in the development of Sarawak.
Uga also pointed out that Premier Sarawak Dato Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Donopeng will also present his keynote address in advising the Dayak community towards the direction of the post-COVID-19 Development Strategy 2030, in which he further commented that the Dayak community will always support the government's agenda.
Dayak community are also very much committed to support government program, to participate in government program, to make sure that they will be able to keep pace with the rest of the community.
He said this when met by reporters at the Gawai Dayak Celebration 2023 rehearsal on Tuesday.
Now, Sarawak's unwavering dedication to green technology development positions itself as a trailblazer in the pursuit of renewable energy leadership in Malaysia. Now, to bolster the commitment, the eagerly anticipated Green Energy Symposium and Exhibition 2023 is set to take place for 2 days, from tomorrow onwards, June 7 until the 8th.
Our sessions at the Green Energy Symposium and Exhibition Sarawak 2023 will offer participants insights into green technology, environmental, social, and governance regulatory framework and compliance, low carbon businesses, and green financing, as well as carbon emissions trading mechanisms. This will assist your organizations in achieving their aspirations for a low-carbon, sustainable future.
He said this during the Green Energy Symposium and Exhibition 2023 media conference held on Tuesday. The symposium and exhibition, organized by the Center for Technology Excellence Centex Sarawak, is expected to gather 600 delegations comprising of local and international experts from Europe, China, India, and Hong Kong throughout the 2-day symposium. The event will be officiated by the Premier, Dato Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunopeng, tomorrow on June 7th.
In an effort to ensure Sarawak's ability to enhance its economy through renewable energy, the Center for Technology Excellence Centex Sarawak is paving the way by offering 4 specialized training programs in green energy and environmental sustainability. Highlighting the significance of these initiatives, Chief Executive Officer of Centex, Syed Mohammad Hussain, announced that the inaugural training session for these short-term courses, which encompass comprehensive training in the field of green energy, is scheduled to commence in July 2023.
He emphasized that these training programs will enhance the general understanding of green energy and environmental sustainability.
So it's called blue hydrogen. So in the world today, people are talking about green hydrogen. So this text, people will learn about how the solar system works, how to install solar system, how to configure, because this is high-tech installation. So dalam program-program itu, this will be all technology driven, akan diajar dengan our student lah. Some program 2 weeks, some program 1 month, very short. Tapi it's not easy. Banyak calculation involved.
He said this during the Green Energy Symposium and Exhibition 2023 press conference on Tuesday. Meanwhile, the first intake session will be held in July 2023 with only 100 spots available. A total of 25 students will be targeted for each offered program, namely the Smart Solar PV Certificate certified by Huawei and SolarVest, the Green Mobility and Storage Certificate certified by Huawei and SolarVest, the Green Hydrogen Certificate certified by SolarVest, and the Environmental, Social and Governance ESG Certificate for companies certified by Intertech and Ethos. These short-term programs are open to bachelor's degree holders in various fields.
The Sarawak Merdeka Convoy, in conjunction with the 60th anniversary of Sarawak independence, embodies an exploration into its vast ethnicities, learning their history through communal rituals and commemorative ceremonies. As such, the convoy allows ethnicities to validate their presence and carve a better future. Head of Kampung Luagan Bunut, Dennis Jalin, said at the event offers a valuable opportunity to introduce the Berawan tribe, along with their rich culture and traditions, to outsiders during the convoy to Telang Usan and Peluru districts.
Di Sarawak juga dapat memperkenalkan budaya, tradisi bangsa Berawan yang ada di sini. Kalau kita lihat di sebelah, di sana banyak makanan yang kita sediakan, pengantaran kawin Berawan dan makanan orang Berawan semua ada di sana. Jadi inilah supaya melalui program ini juga kami akan mempromosikan lebih lagi kepada orang-orang luar supaya orang tahu bahawa etnik Berawan banyak yang akan diberi kepada orang-orang yang di luar.
Jalin said this during his welcoming speech at the Sarawak Merdeka Convoy's reception in Kampung Luagan Bunut, Miri on Tuesday. He also conveyed his gratitude for hosting the program for the first time in his village and for successfully bringing together individuals from various ethnic backgrounds under one long house. Earlier today, the Sarawak Merdeka Convoy embarked on its journey, making its first pit stop at the waterfront Long Lama, where they were warmly greeted by Telang Usan Assemblyman Dennis Ngau after their mini stops at the Peluru Mini Sports Complex and Totnan Bridge. The convoy then proceeded to Lapo Town, the new and old town of Peluru, and concluded its journey at the Peluru District Office before returning to Miri City.
Sarawak holds comprehensive plans to tackle the energy transition and climate crisis, as well as leading the way in natural and technology-based carbon solutions. Deputy Minister for Energy and Environmental Sustainability, Dr. Hazlan Abang Hibni, said this when sharing Sarawak's comprehensive plans during the International Sustainable Palm Oil Forum at the Caledonian Club in London recently.
Dr. Hazlan also presented Sarawak's green economic policy and energy transition policy to the forum's panel, represented by NGOs such as the World Wildlife Fund and other specialists in the sustainable palm oil field. In the context of producing sustainable palm oil, Dr. Hazlan said the UK's accession to the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, or CPTPP, is an opportunity to strengthen economic and trade ties with the Asia-Pacific, particularly Malaysia. In a statement, he said that the complexity of palm oil poses a challenge to policymakers to optimize its socio-economic benefits while reducing the negative impacts on the environment. Meanwhile, in the carbon dioxide emissions space, Dr. Hazlan reminded that methane, a greenhouse gas, has a shorter lifespan than carbon dioxide, despite methane's higher likelihood of increasing the planet's temperature. The forum, organized by KSI's Strategic Institute for Asia Pacific, is aimed at promoting sustainable trade discourse and educating consumers about the facts of sustainable palm oil, the health benefits, environmental impact, and economic opportunities. A keynote address was delivered by Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof, who is also Minister of Plantation and Commodities, touching on sustainable trade and responsible business practices in a new global era.
We'll be taking a short break. Coming up right after, Sarawak aims for gold in the Special Olympics World Games, and Apple unveils mixed reality headset called the Vision Pro. We'll be back. Welcome back. Sarawak has set its sight to deliver 1 gold medal, 1 silver and 1 bronze from its 3 representatives in the national team at the Special Olympics World Games set to take place in Berlin, Germany from June 17 to 23rd. Minister of Women, Early Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development Sarawak, Dato Sri Fatimah Abdullah said this is an opportunity for the Paralympic athletes to gain tournament experience at the international level.
Itu berkaitan dengan Special Olympic. Setiap tahun kita sebenarnya menghantar atlet dari Sarawak untuk menyertai Special Olympic Malaysia. Dan yang ada Summer Games, ada Winter Games. Yang ini adalah Summer Games. Ya. Ini cara kita untuk memberi peluang kepada anak-anak kita yang berkeperluan khas, yang mempunyai potensi dan minat dalam bidang sukan. It's about giving them opportunity. It's about discovering their talents, giving their opportunity, and then empowering them through sports. Yeah?
She said this during a press conference after receiving a courtesy call from the Special Olympic athletes who will depart for Berlin on June 12, with the Games expected to take place on June 17th at the Berlin Olympic Stadium. Fatimah noted that the representatives of the Sarawak Paralympic athletes are Muhammad Zul Adli Majni from Kuching for 10-pin bowling, Agnes Tiong Hui Sing from Cebu for ping pong, and Sheena Ung Sin Ying from Miri for swimming. At the same time, Fatimah and her ministry are set to depart for Phnom Penh, Cambodia for the ASEAN Sports Games at the invitation of the Paralympic Council of Malaysia President Dato Sri Megat D. Shahriman.
Jadi kami akan berangkat esok. Saya menerima jemputan daripada Presiden Majlis Paralimpik Malaysia iaitu yang berbahagia Datuk Megat untuk hadir ke tamasya sukan tersebut. Dan saya akan pergi bersama dengan timbalan menteri iaitu Yang Berhormat Saudara Muhammad Razi. Kemudian juga yang akan pergi bersama ialah Pengarah Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat. Puan Noriah opt out sebab dia kata banyak perkara yang perlu diuruskan oleh beliau. Jadi dia jaga perahu yang ditinggalkan kami nanti. So pengarah JKMS Tuan Haji Adana, this is in preparation also for us to be, kita akan menjadi insya-Allah lah tuan rumah bagi para sukma tahun hadapan. So it's very important for the minister, for us, for pengarah Jabatan Kebajikan to be exposed to this.
Upon arrival, Fatimah and her entourage will head straight to Morodok Techo Stadium in Phnom Penh to give support to those competing in the event that will be held at that time.
In Parliament updates, these are the run-ups in the second meeting of the second session of the 15th Parliament sitting earlier today.
A task force consisting of officers from the Royal Malaysian Customs Department (JKDM) has been established to conduct further investigations to recover uncollected vehicle import duty on duty-free islands (PCB). Deputy Finance Minister Datuk Sri Ahmad Maslan said the government would take stern action against those who avoid paying import duty and will report them to the police so that appropriate action could be taken immediately. He said that the establishment of the task force was a follow-up to the discovery of fraud by the vehicle owner who had submitted fake documents and incorrect information. The Education Ministry MOE today reiterated its decision not to revive the Primary School Achievement Test UPSR and the Form 3 Assessment PC3 anytime soon. Deputy Education Minister Lim Hui Ying said this was because the MOE was giving focus on the holistic development of students through the implementation of the School-Based Assessment PBS and Classroom-Based Assessment PBD systems.
Pentafsiran berasaskan sekolah atau PBS dengan PBD memberi ruang dan peluang untuk membangunkan potensi murid secara menyeluruh dan dilaksanakan secara berterusan. Jadi pada masa sekarang, kita tidak akan kembalikan UPSR dengan PT3.
She was responding to a supplementary question from Cha Ki-chin, who wanted to know if the MOE was planning to reintroduce both the UPSR and PT3. A sharp decline in the fiscal deficit rate will affect the country's economy adversely, especially in terms of development projects related to education, healthcare and rural infrastructure, says Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim. Anwar, who is also a finance minister, said that instead of being lowered abruptly, the deficit should be reduced gradually to an acceptable level, as was announced earlier.
Jadi setakat yang saya boleh gesa, bank negara harus teliti bukan saja isu monetary, kewangan, tetapi juga fiskal dan juga keyakinan keseluruhannya.
He was replying to Dr. Radzi Jidin's PM Putrajaya query on the effect of the ringgit's depreciation on the national economic recovery and the approach being taken to strengthen the local currency. So far, Anwar said the government and BNM have been cautious and prudent in raising interest rates as a balanced approach is required. Elaborating on the ringgit's performance, the Prime Minister said the lower exchange rate recorded recently was due to the strengthening of the US dollar.
In World Update, torrential rains in Haiti have led to severe flooding, resulting in at least 42 fatalities and the displacement of thousands of residents. Several rivers overflowed, triggering flash floods, rock slides, as well as landslides. The affected regions include the west, NIPS, southeast, northwest, as well as the center. The Haitian government, with the support of national and international institutions, is taking urgent measures to address the crisis. Emergency response teams and aid organizations are working to assist those affected, providing meals as well as essential supplies. The country, already grappling with weak infrastructure, ongoing violence, as well as political instability and previous natural disasters, heavily relies on humanitarian aid. Previously, the United Nations has warned of the possibility of further flooding if heavy rainfall persists, and this threat remains throughout the hurricane season, which began on June 1st. In tech news, Apple on Monday unveiled its first ever virtual reality headset to challenge Facebook on a Meta in a market that has yet to lure users beyond video gamers and tech geeks. Dubbed the Vision Pro, the release marked the most significant product launch by the iconic iPhone maker since it unveiled the Apple Watch back in 2015.
Apple CEO Tim Cook held the arrival of the sleek goggles at its annual Worldwide Developers Conference. The device will be capable to talking between virtual reality or VR and augmented reality or AR, which projects digital imagery while users still can see objects in the real world.
I believe that augmented reality is a profound technology. Blending digital content with the real world can unlock experiences like nothing we've ever seen. So today, I'm excited to announce an entirely new AR platform with a revolutionary new product. And here it is.
The Vision Pro will cost a whopping $3,499 or the equivalent of 16,016 ringgit, and it will be available early next year. Instead of positioning the goggles as yet another vehicle for exploring virtual worlds, Apple framed the Vision Pro as the equivalent of owning a ultra-high definition TV, surround sound system, high-end camera, and state-of-the-art camera bundled into a single piece of hardware. The headset will be equipped with 12 cameras, 6 microphones, and variety of sensors that will allow users to control it and various apps with just their eye and hand gestures. Apple said the experience won't cause the recurring nausea and headaches that similar devices have in the past. The company also developed a technology to create three-dimensional digital version of each user to display during video conferencing. The company emphasized that it drew upon its past decades of product design during the years it spent working on the Vision Pro, which Apple said involved more than 5,000 different patents. Although Vision Pro won't require physical controllers that can be clunky to use, the goggles have to either be plugged into a power outlet or a portable battery tethered to the headset, a factor that could make it less attractive for some users. Even so, analysts are not expecting the Vision Pro to be a big hit right away due to its hefty price tag, and also because most people still can see a compelling reason to wear something wrapped around your face for an extended period of time.
And that's the update for TVS Nightline. The Rainforest World Music Festival returns from the 23rd to the 25th of June. Now don't miss out on the exciting activities as well as lineup by grabbing your tickets at rwmf.net. I'm Zaga Salid. Thank you for watching.